Hi everyone, Dr. Robinson with Synergy Chiropractic. And there are really a lot of videos and articles and information coming out on ways to stay healthy during this pandemic. And there's so much politics involved with the coronavirus right now. So I don't really want to get into that part of it. But I do think it presents us with an opportunity to really discuss ways to boost your immune system so that should you encounter viruses or illnesses, your body is able to fight them off. Now, there are several holistic ways that I use to keep my family healthy, and they fall into 4 categories. And these are healthy habits, optimizing diet, flipping your thoughts. Okay, so there is a mental component to this. And finally, spiritual protection. Now, some of this information that I'm going to share might seem foreign to some of you. It might even seem crazy, and that is totally okay. I feel that we can disagree and still be friends. On the other hand, I feel like there are probably a lot of you out there that are in real need of all of this information, and so I really feel compelled to share it with you. Healthy habits always start with one thing. Do you know what that is? Hopefully the answer was hand washing. All right, so hand washing is just a very tried and true method that has helped us avoid the spread of germs for thousands of years. And I honestly don't really waste my time or money with those cheap antibacterial hand soaps that you get from the store. They usually are just packed with fragrances and chemicals, and they can worsen skin allergies. So I just make my own hand soap, and I did want to show you that today. All right, so here are the ingredients that I use. And in my hand soap, I usually just put 3 ingredients. So I will use Castile soap, so it's just pure soap. Dr. Bronner's is an awesome brand, and I'll just fill it about 1/3 of the way to the top. All right. And then add some water to go. I'll probably go like about to here, not all the way up. Okay, and the last ingredient is essential oils. I am really on a lemon, eucalyptus, and peppermint kick. So I'll usually add about 15 or 20 drops total. And you just want to make sure that nobody's allergic to any of these oils or ingredients that you're putting in here. But I mean, you are diluting it, so it shouldn't really be that big of an issue. And you can adjust the amount of oils that you want to add in there. Okay, and I'll just shake this up. And boom, there you go. All natural, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal with no added junk. And hand sanitizer can be great for when you don't have access to the sink. Like when you take your kids to the grocery store and they have to touch every single thing, which is what my kids always do. So I make hand sanitizer with organic aloe vera gel and vitamin E oil and essential oils. So I use mostly aloe vera gel. Okay. And I really don't need to put too much into it because I don't need this to last for like 3 months because aloe has a water component to it, and anything that has something with a water component to it can actually breed germs. So with the soap too and the hand sanitizer, you only want to make enough that you can use it in about a month so that no bacteria grows in it. So I'm going to put some vitamin E oil in here. And you can always adjust that depending on how thick you want this to be. just going to kind of shake it up a little bit. All right, that seems pretty good. And for the hand sanitizer, you really only need like a couple of drops of oil. So I'm going to go ahead and do lemon and eucalyptus in here. And I really love the vitamin E in there because it can be helpful during the winter, especially to keep your hands from drying out, because that oil really kind of keeps the moisture in. And I even made one for my daughter to take to school with her, and she absolutely loves it. It smells so much better than the industrial hand sanitizers that they have everywhere. Awesome. There you go. Super easy. So the next part of this is optimizing the diet. Now, I'm sure that you've probably heard about supplementing with zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D to help boost your immune system and keep you from getting sick. And I really do think this is great advice. But you can also get all of these things through the food that you eat. If you don't feel like supplementing, or, with kids, sometimes it's just easier than, having them take several vitamins and supplements to try to get these essential things. So vitamin C, some really good sources are citrus fruits and strawberries and broccoli. So hopefully your kids like at least one of those. I know my kids always go straight for the fruit. I don't think I could get them to eat broccoli to save their life. And then vitamin D can be found in red meat and eggs and liver, salmon, sardines. I know my kids will pretty much only eat red meat off of that list. So if that's your kids too, just try to cook more red meat for dinner and then send them outside to get some more sunlight and get that vitamin D. For zinc, also there's a lot of zinc in meat as well. It can also be found in dark chocolate and beans and potatoes and some nuts like cashews and almonds. Now, besides trying to get the good stuff in, I try to keep the bad stuff out. And that is namely sugar, okay? So, rather than trying to go crazy with looking at the, sugar on all the labels and, try to track all that all the time, I just really keep an eye on processed sugar. And that on the label, that's going to look like added sugar. So I try to steer my kids away from things like, donuts, graham crackers, cookies, fruit snacks, candy, ice cream, cake, any kind of sweet bread. And I try to get them to eat other things to substitute, like fruit that is low in sugar, like any kind of berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and then I'll put some whipped cream on top. So it's very low sugar, but they still get a little bit of sweet and they feel like it's a dessert. They also like walnuts and stevia sweetened chocolate chips. So these are sugar-free chocolate chips that are sweetened with stevia and not the other processed junk. And then they also like fruit strips, which you can get those without added sugar. And then they also like yogurt, which you can get with very little added sugar. So you do have to pay attention to the label for that. And we also take probiotics every day, which is super good for your gut health. I usually take just one probiotic capsule every day. And for my kids, it comes in a powder that we mix with just like a quarter cup of orange juice. And they really love it. And I can tell the difference. And it's really no surprise because about 70% of our immune system is actually in our gut. So this is one of those things that I think if you can't get it through fermented foods, or if you're not sure if you're getting enough probiotics, supplement with that for sure. It's easy to do, and you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck there. Really boost your immune system. The next component of keeping you and your family healthy is the mental component, okay? This is what I like to call flipping your thoughts. Now, this is typically a practice that I would use for myself, but I have actually started to teach my kids, and I've noticed a huge difference in them. And, this is the idea of taking negative thoughts whenever they creep in and just kind of flipping them into positive ones. And, I used this on my son the other day. He's 3 and he just started part time preschool a couple months ago. And he just goes 3 days a week, but he still has a hard time leaving me. And usually every morning on a school day, he wakes up and says, Mommy, I don't want to go to school today. And, I used to just say, oh, it's fine, just get ready, you're good. And, but the other day I actually flipped his thought for him. And when he started into his mommy, I don't want to go to school whole routine, I said, well, Dominic, think about how much fun you're going to have today and the great art projects that you'll do. And you get to play with your friends and have a yummy snack and lunch. And then I'm going to pick you up at the end of the day. And it was so simple, but it was so powerful. And I could see the change in him and how his fear just started to melt away. And we are really no different. If we can flip our thoughts from negative to positive, this will have a huge impact on how we deal with situations that cause us stress. And this is so important because stress is an important factor in illness. Okay, it contributes to it and it makes it worse. So this part is huge. All right, I saved the best for last. Spiritual protection. For me, this is the most important part of the whole thing. Now, I use what's called Good Samaritan oil on myself and my kids every single day. And this is a mixture of clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary oils, and it also has avocado oil as a carrier. Now, this is a roller bottle, and I'll just put some on my wrist, kind of rub them together, and then rub it behind my ears a little bit, and my kids do the same thing. And if you haven't heard of Good Samaritan oil, you can Google it to find more information on its history. But even if you don't believe the spiritual aspect of it, the oils that are in this blend are some of the strongest antibacterial and antiviral essential oils out there. Now, beyond that, I pray every single day for God's protection for myself and my family. And, with everything going on, there's so much out of our control. We really can't get enough divine intervention. Well, those are the practices that I've been using to keep my family healthy. And so far, we're all in good shape. And God willing, it stays that way. But, even if it doesn't, even if we do get sick, He's always with us. He's always rescuing us. He literally has us in the palm of His hand. So we have nothing to fear. Thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic day.